Hello. Welcome to my first book video of 2023. I am super excited to start creating some book content here on YouTube because, if y'all don't know, I love books now. So here's to my first book video of 2023 and hopefully many more to come. Let's get into it, shall we? So this video is a little bit of a challenge. It's let's see how many books I can read in a week. I'm gonna try and do at least five. That is my goal. I've been really inspired by Haley Pham recently, and I love her book vlogs, her reading vlogs, all of the fun stuff. So I decided to do a little bit of my own. We're gonna pick out our first book and we're gonna start reading it. I have not picked it out yet, so I don't know which one I'm gonna read yet, but here's my lovely bookshelf. This is my TBR right now. I do have some more of them down here, and then even down here where you cannot see where I'm pointing. Those are all the new books I've got. Oh, and these ones. I just got these as well. So these are all the new books I've got. So I'm gonna pick through those, obviously, you know? I think I'm gonna do It Starts With Us. Because I got this one for Christmas. My friend gave it to me. I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews and I enjoyed the first one, and obviously I haven't read this one yet. So I think I'm gonna start with It Starts With Us. We'll see how it goes. This is like a second chance romance trope, I wanna say. I don't really know, obviously I haven't read it, but based off of what I know is that this is now Lily and Atlas's love story, or I don't know, but something along those lines, okay? Hello, people. It is the next day, and yes, I am wearing the same shirt. I like the same clothes. It's comfy. Anyways, so I'm about like little less than halfway through. I read some yesterday, and then literally 20 minutes later, I went to go hang out with my friends. So I read like maybe 30-ish pages and then went to go hang out with them. And I was there for a really long time. So I didn't get as far into the book as I would like to by now. But I'd say like almost halfway is pretty good for 20 minutes yesterday and a little bit last night and about 2 hours today. But so far, I get the reason for the mixed reviews as of right now. I'm just really hoping that there's like some big like twist in the plot or twist in the story within the characters that's gonna change it for me, because as of right now, I'm not really that impressed with it. I don't know what it is about it. I actually do think I know what it is about it, but I'll save that till the end. But yeah, overall, not super impressed with it yet. Hopefully I can finish it though tonight. I think I'll be able to if I just like stick to it, and I'll be able to finish it tonight. It is can you see that? It is 6:30 and I just finished It Starts With Us. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I'll save that for the end, but a little disappointed, but at the same time it's like kind of what I expected. Basically the whole premise of the book is just to see Lily and Atlas happy, which is great and all, and I really enjoyed that part, but it almost like felt like it dragged a little bit. So yeah, sadly only a 3 out of 10. And realistically, she even said in the acknowledgements, this book did not need to be written, and if it wasn't written, I would have been okay, because truthfully, It Ends With Us I thought was great. That was definitely probably like 4 to 4.5 stars out of 5 for me. So I finished It Starts With Us probably like a day and a half, right? And I usually like to give myself a little bit of a break in between books just so I can like, you know, absorb it and whatnot, everything like that. Since I'm trying to see how many books I can read in 1 week, we don't have that type of time. So the next book I actually chose to read is a book that I've been trying to read for so long. I think I picked it up and tried to read it 3 or 4 times, and each time I just never could. It was also at a time in my life where I wasn't into reading, but it is An Abundance of Catherine's, and I actually haven't heard anything about this book. The only thing that I've heard is that it was weird. I actually don't even remember what it's about. I just know that the main character always dates girls named Catherine, and he doesn't know why, but like every girlfriend that he has, her name is Catherine. The book itself is only like just over 200 pages, so it should be a really quick read. But let's see, the last time I only got to like page 50. Oh my gosh, my old learner's permit is what's my bookmark in this book. Hello guys, it's the next day, and I'm still reading this book. I thought I would have gotten through this one so much quicker. I only have about like 30-ish pages left because a good chunk of like the rest of this book is the author's note, and then like an appendix, and then a questionnaire, and then a chapter from The Fault in Our Stars. So I only have like 30-ish pages left, and I was hoping to be done already because I'm supposed to be meeting my friends at 5 o'clock. So I was like, oh, I'll get the book done before I have to go to my friend's house so I can pick a new one. But no. So I'm still here reading this book. I'll finish it tonight when I come home. But so far it's not looking good. It's a really, just considering how long it's taking me to read this, it's a really slow read. It's so slow. It's almost half the time I'm like questioning what's going on. I'm like, what is even happening? Like, I understand the premise of what's happening, but like, I'm like, what even is this book about? What's going on? It's just like weird. I just finished An Abundance of Catherine's. Honestly, didn't really get the story at all. So it's really gonna be like probably like a 1.5, 2 stars. It's really not that good. It's like 8:30. I'm not gonna pick another book till tomorrow morning because I am not gonna read for the rest of the night. I'm just gonna give myself, you know, some time to relax. That's all I gotta say. I just finished the book. Took me, honestly, it wasn't even that long. I think I read it within a 24-hour period, but oh my god, it dragged. It dragged so much. So I gotta pick a good one tomorrow. So we're on to book 3, and the next book that I've chosen is actually The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I have a really good feeling about this book because the first Lisa Jewell book I read was Then She Was Gone, and oh my god, that was a 5-star read. I have no doubt this is also going to be a 5-star read. Her stuff is just so good, and she's really good at like making you second guess what you're thinking. Within the last book that I read, she like made me go back and forth so much on like what I thought was actually gonna happen and like the theory of everything like that, and I was like under the impression, I was like, no, this happened, and then she'd say something and it would like throw me off my track, and I was like, oh my god, that can't possibly be what it is then. Yes, I have a really good feeling about this. I actually don't necessarily even know what it was about. I just saw Lisa Jewell and I was like, I'm gonna read it. My cousin actually gave me this book. She read it and she was like, here, you can take it. So yeah. Spot I was the first time I talked to you when I said I was starting this book. So I'm already on page 100. It is 5:30 though, so I have been reading for quite a while, but so far it's very good. There's a little bit of mystery in there right now. There isn't anything like too suspenseful going on. It's more of like, basically I think like setting up all the characters and stuff like that. I still sometimes am like lost on like who the characters are because you don't actually know. The only person that you really know is who they are is the main girl. Her name is Libby. Because they say it right basically in the first chapter. So yeah, so far so good. I am really already drawn in, so it's not like a drag where I'm like just waiting for the good part. It's pretty good. It's, yeah. So really quick before my laundry gets too loud, because I literally just put it on and I'm an idiot. Big reveal. Not like a big reveal, but like a little tiny one. Kind of happened when I read the book last night, so I'm about to start reading it again. I'm about almost halfway through. It's technically my 3rd day on the book, but I haven't been reading it like for hours on end consistently like the other ones. Very good though. Things are like starting to come together and it's making me like question like, oh my god, like wait, is it this person or is it that person, or oh my goodness, like what could be going on? It's literally like already getting to me, so I'm super excited. It was not like a big like drop, but it was almost like more of like a little surprising thing that it was like, oh, I was not expecting this to happen, and that happened. This book just got so twisted. Like, I know what's happening, but you still don't know what's happening. You're like on the edge of your seat, and I am so on the edge of my seat. Oh my god. I only have like 100 pages left of the book, and I'm gonna fly through them. Oh my god, she leaves chapters off on like cliffhangers-ish. Like, she's very subtle about them. She'll like say this little thing, and then like that's it, and you're like, wait, what's happening? And it's like crazy. Right now she's like being suspenseful, and she's like making me sit on the edge of my seat wondering what's happening. Oh my god, the story is getting so good. Now she's she is so great at doing this. So this book is being told from third person and first person, so certain chapters are from like the past and it's being told from that person's point of view, and then the other chapters are being told from third person but about the other characters. So it seems like the first person chapters, they're full of lies, just based off of what I read right now. I don't know yet. That's one of the things that she's like good at, making you throw you off your tracks and everything like that, because some of this stuff doesn't make sense. I don't have that much left. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. The way it ended made it seem like there was a sequel. This so good. So freaking good. I'm not gonna say too much about it right now, but great writing. I do want to say it's probably like a 4.5 out of 5, not a true 5 stars, because there's just something about it to me that is just like, there's just something missing. I think it was more of like a sadistic twist at the end that it was missing, but it's very close to a sadistic twist and ending. She didn't do it like that because she was leading into a second one, and that's why she kind of left it like hanging the way she did. So I'm gonna look it up, see if there's another one. 4.5 out of 5. Fantastic book, absolutely recommend. So let's pick our 4th book for the week. So today is Tuesday, so it means I only have today and tomorrow left to read 5 books, because that was my goal, but we'll see. Maybe I'll only read, This is a thriller, but I'm not sure if I want to read this one yet, because I don't know what it's about, but it is just under 300 pages. Ooh, okay, so this one actually seems interesting. Very, very interesting. Maybe I'll read this because it's pretty quick. I wish I had skinnier books to read, but I do really enjoy the mysteries. This one's a thriller though, so that kind of scares me, but I think I'll be good. Yeah, with the storyline basis of this, I think this one will be good. So I think I'm gonna do this one. Her Dark Silence by Jason Casper. The first 100 pages or so, I don't want to say they're a drag. They're definitely like interesting, but they're not like the book I just read, kind of interesting, where it's like a mystery unraveling. This is more of like, so she is a military veteran and she has PTSD. So right now it's more of like going through her dreams of like what's happening. It's definitely interesting, not as like drawing in as I feel as it needs to be for me to get through it. I mean, I know I will. I'm already past the 100th page, but I've only been reading for like hour and a half, so I mean it wasn't hard for me to get to the 100 pages. It's not like pulling me in. I'm not like forgetting the fact that I'm reading. There's been a few times where I've had to read things over because I just got distracted and thought about something else while reading. But so far it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. This is the quickest I've ever read a book. I even read November 9th in one day, and it was still longer. Like, I took longer to read it than I did this book. I want to say in total, because I did take a few breaks in between, took maybe like 7-ish hours. It was good. It took a real wild turn at the end, and that surprised me. Honestly, I think I'd rate it probably like a 3.5, 4 out of 5, just because it didn't like make me forget I was reading. It was almost like, and I kept getting distracted, like I would think about other things while I was reading it, so there were only like, it was very interesting, but I lost track kind of a bit. But overall, still a very good book. I think it does have a lot to do with PTSD, so it could be just like the more of the topic that I wasn't necessarily drawn to compared to some other ones. I'm gonna say 3.5, 4 out of 5. Either way, still good. Okay, so I'm in bed and I've decided that my last book for the week is going to be All Your Perfects. I really did love Colleen Hoover, but I think after It Starts With Us, I've kind of started to notice that I maybe don't like her stuff as much as I thought I did. Her past books have been usually a really quick read for me, that I'm able to get through them super, super quick. So I'm hoping I can do that with this book. I'm going to read a little bit before bed, and then we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Well, hello. The week is over and it's almost 4 o'clock, which means that the sun is setting and I don't have long to film this portion of the video. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the books that I read this week. So I did read 5 books this week, so we will start with the ones, we'll just go in order. We'll go in order of the ones I read. So disclaimer, I'm really bad at explaining books. Let's just say that. I'm really bad at talking about books, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So, first book. It Starts With Us. I gave this basically like a 3 out of 5. It's a low-key like a little disappointing. It wasn't like as good as it was hyped up to be, which was something I did not appreciate. When a book is like this hyped up, I was like expecting it to be this like big end-all be-all type of book, and it wasn't. It was just kind of there. It didn't need to happen, and she kind of wrote that in the acknowledgements that it was a book that she really didn't intend to write, which I kind of appreciate that she stated that, because it almost seems like, you know, she just wrote it because to write it. And, you know, she did say that fans asked for a sequel for Atlas and Lily, which I guess if you're a really big Lily and Atlas fan, then that's perfect for you and you love it. You know, it just wasn't my favorite book that she's ever written, and it was kind of just like there. So the book is a dual point of view. It's from Lily and Atlas's perspectives. It was, like I said, a little bit underwhelming. It wasn't like this really big, great book or anything like that. It was just kind of there. It did drag. Like, there were parts of it that drag, and there is her type of writing and like the things that she writes and what she says, I've kind of cringed at, because I noticed it in another book that I also read by her, that really like what she writes just kind of makes me cringe. And not that I don't like her, I do really like some of her books, but this just wasn't it for me. There was no major twist. It kind of just happened, like I said. Normally there's like, you know, a climax, and you know the whole gist. The whole gist with books is that like, you know, there's a big old climax, and then right after the climax, that's when all hell breaks loose. And that didn't really happen in this book, which is fine, because it really is just like giving Lily and Atlas their second chance at love. What I also found with this book is like they only seem to really want to be together because of their past trauma experiences that they've shared. So Lily and Atlas together went through a very traumatic experience as young kids, and that's what happened in the first book. They talk about it a little bit and they don't go like too into depth. Some of the book is copied straight from the first one, some of the like entries and stuff. But yeah, it almost felt like they were only together and felt that like, oh my god, like I feel like such a connection to this person, wanting to be with this person due to their past trauma experience together. That's just what I got from it. I mean, that probably isn't always the case. I don't know. So next up, we have An Abundance of Catherines. I hated this book. I'm gonna give this probably 1.5, 2. Truthfully, I did not understand this book at all. I honestly, reading the back of it, I'm kind of just like, what even was this? I think it was just a random book that he had written, and that was it. There was like nothing to it. Like, it just was really, it felt really random and just like out of nowhere. There didn't really feel like there was like an actual storyline or a love story or anything in it. I don't think it was meant to be a love story. I think it was just meant to be like this kid like figuring out who he is and this mathematical equation that he can't seem to figure out. And it was just like, what? It really dragged. It really wasn't interesting. I just was so confused, and there were so many times where I got distracted, like thinking that I was reading the pages, but I wasn't, and I was thinking about something else. So overall, I really don't want to talk about this book that much. Don't really recommend. If you want to try and read it, go right ahead. It could be me. It could have been a me type of thing, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this book, and that they were not good. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Okay, the third book, The Family Upstairs. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 stars. This book was so good. Okay, so let me just say, I love Lisa Jewell. She is phenomenal. I have only actually read one other book by her, but from that book, I was drawn into her, and I was like, I have to read more of her stuff. She is such a good writer, and her writing style always keeps you guessing and keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's fantastic. The book is very captivating. It's very suspenseful. I'm pretty positive this is in the like mystery thriller genre. I'm not too sure. I would say it's definitely more of a mystery than a thriller, but it's really good. Like, it really keeps you entertained, and I flew through this book. If I could get through the first 100 pages fast, I know I'm gonna read the book really fast. I was basically drawn in from the first chapter by the way she started it. So it's written in third and first person. The first person narrator, he's very unreliable, and I absolutely love it. You don't really realize it at first, but once you start going, you're kind of like, wait a second, what? And I just realized that I never talked about what this book was. I'm really bad at explaining books, but basically, it takes place in England. Libby finds out she gets an inheritance at the age of 25 by her birth parents, and basically everybody else, all the other characters in this book, know that she's gonna get this inheritance, and they want to meet her because they've never met her before, and they really want to meet her to talk about the inheritance. And yeah, so basically it's more of like her finding out who she is and everything else that happened in this house that she inherited. Overall, it's very mysterious, very captivating, fantastic. So this book also has a sequel, but it can be read as a standalone. And I've also heard that the sequel can be read as a standalone. But yeah, that's it for this book. I'm really sorry that I'm really bad at describing books and everything like that. Hopefully with me making these videos, I'm gonna get better at it, but who knows? I think I may always be bad at describing books. So the next book I read is Her Dark Silence. This book is it says it's a thriller, but honestly, I don't know. I'd say it's a psychological thriller, more suspenseful. I don't know. I didn't see it as like scary or a thriller or anything like that. I guess it was also kind of a mystery. It wasn't the best book I've ever read, but it was pretty good. I did fly through it very quickly. So basically, Clara, she deals with PTSD. She used to be in the military, and she goes to seek treatment for her PTSD using this new like psychedelic drug that's on trial. So she doesn't know if it's gonna work, but it's like this whole experience that she deals with. And then after that treatment, she finds that her memories and everything like that is like heightened. She's feeling them even worse afterwards, and she wants to know why, and she thinks that she was injected with something else other than the psychedelic drug that was supposed to help her ease her memories and kind of relax her a little bit more. She's also trying to figure out the mystery of the people in her platoon, because a lot of people in her platoon ended up committing suicide, and she thinks that this drug has something to do with it. I hope that that was a okay description of the book. It's a very easy, it's a very quick read. 3 out of 5 stars. I did get pretty distracted though while reading it. There was like times where it really did drag. There was just something about the writing style that like wasn't my favorite. I'm also not good with like the writing styles either. This is told in the third person though, so Clara is not narrating the book. It is, you know, from an outside perspective, but it only deals with information that she knows. So if you do like a little thriller that is also a quick read, I would recommend this one. But like I said, it's probably like 3.5 stars. And lastly, I did read another Colleen Hoover book because this one has been on my TBR for so long, and it is All Your Perfects. Now, there are things about this book that I did really like. I did really like the topic of the book. It shows the struggles of marriage and everything that has to do with marriage and like all the issues that you could have in a marriage. I really like that aspect, especially as someone who is married. They did seem pretty realistic. So this is basically told from Quinn's perspective, who is the main character. Basically, there is a then and a now, so it's past and present that it takes place in. So in the past, this is how their relationship started, the beginning of it, and the beginning of their marriage, and all things that were good and well. Present takes place 7 years into their marriage. They're talking about all of the struggles that they're having now within their marriage and like why they think they're going to give up and have a divorce. I guess I want to say trigger, but it's going to give away a lot of the book. It's fine, whatever. Trigger, it does deal with infertility, so if you are someone who is sensitive to that topic, then I don't know, maybe this book is not for you. 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was good, but it wasn't great. Like I said, I did kind of enjoy the book. Like I could get through it easily, and it was very interesting for me to read, but it wasn't like really good where I was constantly thinking about it. You know, if I'm really thinking about a book after the fact, then that's when I know it's good, and that's when I know I love it and it's a 5-star read, but I was not constantly thinking about this book. The things I don't like about it was the victim mentality that she really had. There's struggles in every marriage, and she really was not helping the situation at all. It was kind of like putting all the blame on him, but she knew she was doing that, and she knew it was her fault, and that she knew she had faults in the marriage, and it wasn't all his fault, but it still felt like she was playing the victim in the whole thing. They also don't communicate. Like literally like the entire book, they do not communicate. And I was like, why aren't you just talking to each other? He's supposed to be your best friend. He's your husband. Literally talk to him. If I was having issues like this, like they have in this book with my husband, I would be telling him. Like there's like no point as to when I wouldn't be. So in the end, it's very frustrating. It did keep me drawn in though. I think that was probably because of their struggles that it really kept me drawn in. There were so many things that could have been done differently to avoid these complications. That was All Your Perfects. Like I said, 3.5 out of 5 stars. 3 out of, I don't know, 3.5. Let's go with a nice number, 3.5. Like I said, it was good, but it wasn't that good. Also, side note, love the way this book feels. On top, oh my God, feels fantastic. All right, but that is all the books that I read this week. And you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna do a video like this again where I'm gonna see how many books I can read or whatnot. I think I will do more reading vlogs, but it almost felt forced for me to read this many books, and at the end, I didn't really enjoy it. It almost was like, oh, I read to enjoy my time reading, not to like rush through everything. It was way too many books way too quickly. So I will not be doing this again, but I will be making more book videos and content in the future. But anyways, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you agree with me on any of this stuff, let me know. Or if you don't agree with me, also let me know. Like I said, I really apologize. I'm really bad at telling you about books and describing them because I will give everything away because I don't know why. It's just how I am. I apologize and bear with me for future book videos when it comes to that, okay? But thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias as well as subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.